Hi, good evening. Hope you're all well. I'm just going to have a quick chat about the effects of alcohol on your mental health, really. I never thought it would affect me. I've always been happy-go-lucky, sort of strong character, independent, all this sort of thing. But the drink gets you to such a point. It weakens your resolve, really. I've just been down to the local pub. I still go in most nights to have a zero beer, keep in touch with people. Got to get out and about, haven't you? And I just looked around and I thought, there's people in there look really down. I wonder if I was like that. Because really, you have a bit of euphoric, um, sort of euphoric time, and then suddenly you drop down, don't you? Because it is depressing. Although there's a drug and there's a depressing drug, and they're all this sort of tired, yawning. I'm thinking, every time I go in this pub, it makes me feel tired because there's no spark there. It's as if they're sort of dying inside. I call it slow suicide, and it affects your mental health to the point where, with me anyway, it controlled me totally. And to get off the drink is the most wonderful experience because you get a new sense of well-being, really. It's a transformational thing. And you do become a different person, or you revert to what you were maybe 30 years ago. I mean, I've been drinking for 40 years. It's a long, long time. There's very rarely time off. I've always, when I look back, in a 24-hour period, I've always had some sort of alcohol. Never any spirits or wine, beers, lagers, that sort of thing. I was convinced that wouldn't harm me because I was told mainly water should be alright, but obviously it catches up with you, doesn't it? Because your liver never gets a rest, or your body never gets a rest, your blood pressure can rise, all these sort of things I've talked about before. But mental health is another one to look at. In the first few weeks of being sober, you start to feel a little bit better mentally. Mental clarity, you can think about things, you can deal with things. That was the biggest thing with me. I think the anxiety was horrendous when I was drinking. Before I started drinking heavily, when I was, say, a sociable drinker, I had no anxiety. But when it starts to get a bit of a grip of you, and you're dependent on it, you would say, or it becomes a habit, then everything's a problem. The tiniest thing can be blown out of all proportion. Now, I'm not saying that when you're sober, life's a breeze, because we all have issues, we all have things to deal with, but you're able to cope with them better. It doesn't seem such a stress. You can talk about things, you can resolve things, but when you're in the throes of heavy drinking, alcoholism, or even moderate drinking, and you have a heavy weekend, it can throw you off course. I've just been speaking to a chap there, and he said, "Oh, I'm so tired." I said, He said, "Oh, I had a heavy weekend." I said, "It's Wednesday." He's 55. I said, "It's Wednesday." He said, "Oh, it'll take me 3 or 4 days to get over it now." He said, he'd been to meet some new girlfriend, and she'd been drinking heavily on Saturday. They were supposed to go out Sunday somewhere for lunch. Neither of them made it. They'd had too much to drink on the Saturday night. He said he spent about £200. Not all on drink. I think they had a little bit bite to eat, but in a few taxis here and there, and entrance to nightclubs and whatnot. But £200 on what? To be wasted the next day, and he still isn't right. And it's Thursday tomorrow. So that's how it affects you, and you don't feel positive. Well, I didn't anyway. I'm talking from personal experience here, but I'd like to know how you felt with it. Did you feel more worried? Did you feel more anxious? Did you feel depressed? That's another big thing, isn't it? I mean, on the downside of it all, and really low side of it, it leads to suicide, doesn't it? In some cases, and that's another thing that needs to be talked about, but isn't talked about very widely. So, sober, healthy body and healthy mind do go together, and your brain will be less addled. You'll feel more able to deal with things, brighter, more focused, and much more productive as well. And it's just another aspect I just thought I'd have a quick chat about. So if you have any comments or any thoughts on that, please leave me a note. If you enjoy the channel, please subscribe. And we're building quite a nice community here with people, and I think that the more stories that are shared, the better. I think we can all benefit from that and learn. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon.